Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a mini review on something that I've just purchased off Amazon. Basically, it is this guy. It is the StudioFX 48-inch slider. You guys know that I've started making car videos recently, and I'm trying to get some cool shots of like panning around the car, or like panning on the side of the car or the grill or whatever. So I want to get a good slider, but I couldn't like break the bank. I couldn't like spend a ton of money. So basically I went with this guy. It's off Amazon. It's like the #1 slider that when you search camera slider on Amazon, it comes up right away. And there's definitely better sliders out there than this. This is around 120 bucks, and I've seen some sliders that are like 600 bucks. So there's definitely better ones, but I think for like an entry level, this one was pretty good, which I'll get on into later in the review. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, so we're gonna go in detail about this guy, see what the best parts about it are and the worst parts, and yeah, here we go. Alright, so first off, in terms of what it comes with, basically, if I can grab this, when you first get it, it comes with this bag. It's a pretty nice, pretty high quality bag. I'll try to open it up to show you guys. Inside, it's just like normal, whatever, I don't know, like that plasticky feeling material. But it's a pretty nice bag. It's actually pretty, like, it's padded, so it won't get like dented up if you keep it in there. And yeah, it fits the whole slider now, obviously. And then it comes with this little bag inside. It's pretty straightforward once you get it, what it comes with. But it does have a little screw that mounts that I don't have with me because I don't really need it. But that mounts on this so it can adapt to like 3/8 or something like that. I think I'm not too familiar with it. But basically it adapts to certain cameras or whatever if you have like a bigger camera or whatever. And then it comes with these two legs. You can just actually take these and if you take this screw out right here, you can put it in like that and then twist it on and it will fit right on there. So that's pretty good. Comes with the two legs. The two legs have the like rubber type bottom so that it won't slide around as much. Honestly, they're not too high quality. But like the whole thing by itself is super like, it feels high quality. It's got like a rail right here, a silver rail. I don't know what that's made out of, but the whole thing is made out of metal pretty much, and it's pretty heavy. Like it's pretty decently heavy. It's definitely not a light unit, so if you're looking for something really light or portable, maybe this wouldn't be the best, especially since it's 48 inches long, and that's probably where most of its weight comes from. But it's pretty heavy. It's pretty well built, and yeah, it's really stable. I think the weight is kind of a drawback in terms of portability. But if you're looking for something that's really solid, like if you had a really light one, it would probably like move around a lot. This one's really solid. If you have two tripods or even one, it sits really solid on your tripod, and yeah, it works really, really well. So real quick, going back to the length, this thing is freaking huge. I'm like 5'7", and maybe not as tall. It's not as tall as me, but I was gonna say it's pretty freaking tall. And it's like, it's really long. Like I saw that it said 48 inches when I looked on Amazon, but I didn't really get a ruler out and measure to see how much that was. And it is pretty freaking tall, like, or pretty long, I should say. As you guys can see, it's huge. So it's a lot bigger than I expected. That's kind of a bad thing in some ways because it's not as portable, like I said, but it's also really good if you're getting really long shots. Like, as I said, how I'm going to be doing for cars, I go from like pretty much the back of the car to the front if I have a wide enough lens. So yeah, the length is really good for the price and stuff like that. This is like, most of the time, the longer they get, the more pricey they get. This one was $120 for a 48 inch, which in my opinion is a pretty good deal, especially with the build quality. Alright, so now for the moment you guys have probably been waiting for, the part you've been waiting for is the movement or the sliding. So honestly, it's pretty smooth. If you want to add good quality video or good quality slide to your videos, for 120 bucks, I think it's pretty smooth. One of the drawbacks is that you can hear it if you guys listen. You guys can kind of hear that, especially if you tighten it up a little bit more. Like here, that's even a little bit too tight, but like, it's pretty loud. You can hear it. It's made out of 4 bearings in the inside. And when you do slide it, like, one more time, you can hear it, but it's definitely not too loud. I feel like if there's background noises in the video, or if you added music or noises to the movie that you're making, it would definitely, like, be faded out. I tested some shots out on it, and you really can't hear it that well, or that much. So yeah, it's really good. It's pretty slidey. I mean, obviously it's not as good as, like, a $600 slider. It does have this little tab or like twisty thing that you can twist to the right, and I know I freaking called it a twisty thing. I don't really know the correct, like it's a knob or something, but if you turn it all the way to the right, it's really hard to move. Like if you were doing like a really slow shot, maybe if you did like that, or you can unloosen it all the way, and then it just slides super easy. You guys can see, and that's the other thing. If you're trying to like just push it or something like that, it's not gonna really go too far, even if it's loosened all the way. But overall, for 120 bucks, I think it's pretty slidey. One thing about the knob that you turn is that it doesn't really change. Like I'm still twisting, not changing, twisting, not changing. It doesn't change. It's like the last second, and then there's like a little bit of area that you have to play with to get it right. It's not like from all the way loose to all the way heavy. It's a whole process in between. It's kind of like you have to twist, and then it starts getting tighter. So that's kind of like finicky. It's kind of annoying, but honestly, if you get it to like the right spot, then it's pretty good. Another thing that I was gonna say is that it really depends on the application, like how you use it. If you're one of those people with super like fidgety hands and you're always like, oh, like twitching around, then this might not be the best for you. I mean, you can tighten it and then it's definitely more pressure. I think that's kind of why they made that, is for people that have more like fidgety hands where like they're gonna be like going like this. Then you can tighten it and it's a lot harder to move with those little movements. So it's definitely really good like that. But for me, I have pretty smooth hands, I guess you could say. I don't know if that sounds weird. Basically, I unloosen it all the way, and you guys can see I can get a good like steady movement that's the same speed all across. So yeah, it just really depends on you. One thing that I do recommend that you get is a fluid head for like a tripod. Like basically you can buy one for a tripod, but it fits right on this, and you can just keep it on there. There's like $30 ones on Amazon, or really just any head for a tripod that has a big handle on it, because this, when you put your camera on it, I can't do it right now because my camera's filming me, but if you put a camera on this, you either have to hold like from the lens or the body of the camera, or like this knob, and it just really doesn't feel right if you're like pushing on the camera like this or holding the camera. It's doable for sure, but I would recommend getting like a big handle so that you have a handle that you can go like this. It would be much more easy, and plus with the fluid head you can get a lot of movement. You can like slide and twist at the same time, so that's what most people recommend with these things, that you get a fluid head, and I would definitely recommend that too. Last part for the sliding, I really haven't used it all that much. I've probably used it for a total of an hour for filming, and so far it's still good. It's holding up well. I don't know how long it's gonna hold up. I haven't really read that many, like I read a lot of reviews, but not many of the reviews said how long it held up after like a couple months or a year or something like that. I don't even know how long this thing's been out. But yeah, so far it's pretty good, and I've been using it for about an hour. I haven't noticed anything like any ticks or anything like that. Right out of the box though, I did notice that sometimes it almost feels like something is like clicking inside of it. Like when you go like this, it almost feels like it's like rolling and then rolling instead of just one fluid motion. But it's not a big deal. If you apply enough pressure, you won't even notice it. But if you go real slow, you can kind of feel it. But other than that, it's a really good sliding motion. One thing that does bother me about this in terms of mounting your camera is that it doesn't come with a quick release plate. I really wish they included that. For 120 bucks, I feel like they could have, because basically you'll have to take your camera, if you don't have a quick release plate, and basically to put your camera on and twist your camera around in circles, or twist the slider around in circles just to get it on. It's really a pain in the ass, to be honest. So I'm going to actually invest in a quick release plate, or I'm just going to get my tripod head and put it on there. And then what else do I have here? There's a lot of screw holes. There's literally all over. So there's like 1, 2 on the top. There's some on the bottom, 1, 2 on the bottom, and then there is 2 on this side right here. So you can mount this thing vertical like this. I don't want to hit my freaking ceiling. You can mount it vertical like this. You can mount it on the bottom like this, or you can mount it like, I guess you could mount it upside down if you wanted to. But yeah, it has that on both sides, so you can mount it vertical, horizontal, or upside down, I guess. I don't know if that's even recommended, but I guess they have the holes there. So yeah, you can mount it really any way you want. It's pretty good for that. The only thing you can't really mount it is sideways, but basically you can just turn your tripod like that, so you don't really need to do that. And let's see, what else do I have? So yeah, it doesn't come with the quick release. It has a 15-pound payload, which basically means your camera can't be really more than 15 pounds with the lens and everything, obviously. So 15 pounds is a good amount. Like, I think my camera weighs like 5 pounds or something like that. It's definitely not a lot with the lens and everything and my mic. I could be totally wrong on that, so don't quote me. I have a T6i, but it's definitely 15 pounds is definitely a lot, and this is solid metal, so it's definitely gonna be fine with that. But basically, yeah, it has 15-pound payload, and yeah, the build quality is pretty good. Next up, I'm going to show you guys some test shots with this thing. I had to film these all in my basement because it's raining outside and it's also nighttime, so I couldn't really get any shots, but I filmed these all in my basement. You guys can get the idea of how it looks. I filmed this with my Canon 50mm and my 10-18mm, and the shots looks really good. Like, it feels like, one thing I noticed is when you're using it, you feel like it's going to be a really bad shot. You're like, oh, let's just like twitched a little bit or whatever. And then once you watch it, it's like, holy shit, like that looks really, really good. So yeah, that's what I've noticed. Maybe it's just because I'm new to sliders, but at first I was like, oh, I feel like this is going to turn out really bad. And then I played the video back on my camera and I was like, wow, that looks pretty professional. So yeah, the thing gets great shots if you use it right and your hands aren't too fidgety, or if you adjust it right. It's definitely going to get you some good shots, as you guys are seeing on screen. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So as you guys continue to watch these shots, I'm going to talk about overall if it's worth it. I think overall for $120, it is definitely worth it. This thing is high build quality, has a ton of mounting options. It is missing a few things like the quick release plate and a better knob to adjust the pressure. But overall, it's really good. It gets sweet sliding motions, as you guys saw. And overall, it's really high quality. I would definitely recommend it for 120 bucks. But the thing is, If you do have more money to spend, I would definitely recommend that. If you want to get smoother shots and much more easier to use, like with the features and just sliding it, there's a lot of things that have like circle things here that you turn and it gets a perfect slide the whole way. You could even then attach a motor to it so that's perfectly smooth the whole way. So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you have more money to spend more, but really not all of us have all the money to spend. So for 120 bucks, I think this is definitely good. I wouldn't really recommend spending any lower than that, maybe, or no lower than like 100, because I feel like that's getting in the really cheap range for sliders. It is a lot for just a simple device like this, but I mean, that's just the slider world. That's how much they are. And for 120 bucks, like I said, I think this is a really good investment. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you liked this review and learned something about the slider. And that is all I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys later, and peace out. And keep sliding. I don't know if that made any sense, but see you guys.